Hello and welcome to JoyRide with your hosts, the metaphysical moms, Tiffanie and Kerry. JoyRide takes you on a spin through all things spiritual and soulful, including holistic healing, energy work, and personal development. Now, here are your hosts, Tiffanie and Kerry.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to JoyRide. This is Tiffanie.
And this is Kerry.
And this is one of our favorite kind of shows that we're doing today.
Oh, I'm giddy. I'm just giddy. My heart's fluttering.
We really are going to talk to angels. Well, I don't know if we'd call them angels.
And I'm not sure that
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe
little
a
devils.
devil on our shoulder, but we have a really exciting show, and we're going to get right into it because our friend Emmanuel McIntosh is joining us from Belgium via Skype over the phone, and she is literally bursting at the seams.
She's
because
red.
we have in studio with us today our dear friend Brian Shannon.
Thank you for having me today. Appreciate
And
it.
my longtime dear friend Doug Harris.
Hello.
And we are all veterans of Rock 101 KLOL. And we thought it might be fun to have a little KLOL reunion here. So Rock 101 KLOL was a legendary Houston rock station for over a decade. It was a landmark station. Everybody loved it. It was like family.
30 years, Douglas.
And
30
we have not told, so hi Emma from Belgium, hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hey, guys.
We have not told you who you're,
Everybody okay?
yeah, we're doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little blushing and I feel very flushed. But other than that, I'm good.
Well,
We have that effect on some women. Don't
Yes.
let it alarm you.
Yeah.
Well, and the reason for that too is all you know is we said our friend Brian wants to talk to Mark and Jim. You know nothing, right? We have not given you any information about who you're talking to, so you just have these powerhouse energies coming through. So tell us what you're feeling.
Well, I have to say, for Brian, there's other people here besides your two friends that you wanted to talk to. But let's just say that these two guys seem very crazy and very straightforward. And so they keep flashing me and they keep saying, do you think this is strange? Does this look normal to you? So
They're flashing
I don't really
you.
know what to do with it.
What are they flashing? Are
Yeah.
they naked?
Are they giving you the full Monty
They
here?
are naked.
Oh, they can do that on that side.
No. So we are bringing in Mark Stevens and Jim Pruett for the Eternity Show here, the KLOL reunion show.
Eternity show. I love that.
Because I'm calling you Eddie the Boner Sanchez.
It's okay.
Brian was a longtime producer and on-air personality with them, and Doug was a longtime legendary KLOL promoter and promotions director.
Genius whiz idea guy.
Oh, shucks.
And so these guys are family to us, and they were legends to so many people. But hi, Mark and Jim.
We're going, hey, sweeties, what's up?
Hi, sweetie. What's up? We're not getting the visuals you are, so we're getting the sweetie kind.
Hey, buds,
Let's
how
just
you
say
doing?
I'm happy they put some clothes on. I'm just
Okay.
happy they got some clothes on.
Tell them I said, hey, buds, how you
You
doing
say-
up there?
He's saying, dude, you don't have to tell her to tell me that.
He can hear you.
They can
Oh,
hear
okay.
you.
All
They
right.
can hear you, yeah. And she can hear them. So everything's having to funnel through Emma for us today. So we're going to apologize in advance for what you see in here. But it's all done with love. And the whole JoyRide show is just to let people know that spirit lives on and to let go of grief and enjoy the time that you're here, and your family is always with you. So,
I have a question for him.
yeah.
I want to know what it was
They're
like.
saying this. Can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, say whatever.
Okay. This is what they're saying. It's Stevens and Pruett on 101 KLOL Heaven. What the hell, Boner? Why the hell are you letting us hang in here, man? When are you coming home and make our trio complete again?
Well, I would love to
Okay,
join
so
them for
what
the Eternity Show, but not quite ready yet. And they'll understand that.
So what the heck? What the heck are we going to talk about today? Celestial hard-ons, angelic sexual desires, or should we just have a gang yang or something?
Are you sure you don't know who they are,
Right.
Emma?
I don't listen to American radio, so I have no idea.
Wow.
I can
Amazing.
see them
What's your
though.
question?
They look middle aged. They look. I kind of have one that's a little rounder and one that's skinnier, and It looks like they have dark hair, brownish dark hair. One looks like he has a mustache, I think.
Yeah, Mark had one forever.
They just have really nice smiles, though, but their energy feels like they just didn't give a shit.
That's it.
That was them. I want to know what it was like when they.
Like they were down here to have fun, and either you liked it or you didn't. They said we did have fears, and we did have a lot of human qualities that we didn't like so much about ourselves, but we didn't let that stop us to just do out, have fun, and we were different, he said. We were different in those days. People either hated us or they liked us, but we just didn't care.
They were polarizing. I want to know what they felt when they realized they were back together again, when they both realized that they had reunited.
Well, Mark says that he waited for Jim. And he said the first thing he did was pick him out for a beer.
A heavenly beer.
Yeah.
He's saying, we didn't go to a radio show right away.
Caught up
but
first?
we really, we just caught up, and he's just saying, well, like always, I had to guide Jim into everything. So I helped him out, and we just hang out for a while till he got adjusted, and then, his family was there as well. So he's saying, in a way, when you come over, you're not alone. There's a whole bunch of people. I was just one of the many, but we did hang out, and we still hang out, and watch over your ass.
Good. I need it. I still need some of that guiding down here, so tell him he's more than welcome to help guide me. How was Mark when he saw his dad again?
Oh, we are.
How was Mark when he saw his dad again?
Mark says the meeting, it's almost like, I don't know, but there was a duality, he said. It's almost like there were two sides of him. He was very excited, and at the same time he was kind of sad that he had to go, because Mark says that in his final time, he calls it, it's almost like he wasn't able to say goodbye, or he wasn't able to, it's almost like he couldn't. So in a way, he says, okay, so I was happy that I was there, and I was happy I was greeted with him, but at the same time I was also sad, because it's almost like his final years, like he wasn't 100% present. I'm not really sure what he's trying to say with
Full
that.
disclosure, Mark's father suffered from dementia problems and did not know where he was so much at the end of his life. And the only time I only saw Mark Stevens cry twice, and one of them was after we played Mike Rutherford and the Mechanics' The Living Years, which is a song about losing your father. He lost it on the air. He loved his dad, or loves his dad, I should say.
Yeah.
And I'm going to interject one thing. The other time he cried was at the KLOL studio back in the 90s. We had psychic Gary Spivey on as a morning show guest. And I came into the studio, and everybody's crying. Usually it's raunchy, crazy things going on, but everybody was in tears. And Mark's like, I just talked to my dad in spirit. And I talked to my mom then in spirit, and that set me on a spiritual path. So this is a real full circle moment for me to have Mark and Jim in spirit on my studio radio station. Isn't that awesome? I think it's awesome.
No, definitely it is.
Awesome.
And we're being
Yeah,
joined
but
by...
He was just making me feel like there was always, I don't know, there was always, non-communication, or he wasn't fully in his mind or something. But he says, when I saw my daughter Kim,
Oh, wow.
that's when I lost it. That's when I lost it. he
Yeah,
said.
yeah, because his daughter died early, very early, and I know that really had a big impact on my buddy Mark, and so I'm glad that he's got to see Kim again.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, his daughter Kim. Wow, and that was his only blood. He had step kids, but Kim was the actual blood daughter. Man, that's fantastic to hear. Now let's switch to Jimmy. Jimmy's still there, right?
Oh yeah.
Very close to his mother. How was the reunion with Mom, Jimmy?
He's saying, let's just say that I turned back into a little boy.
Oh,
And
wow.
I crawled up into her lap and I cried. He's saying, I have to say though, there's a lot of stuff that I miss for being alive and where I'm now. He says there's so much peace and tranquility and balance in where I am. But man, I do miss the physical. I do miss the women and looking. He's saying, I was looking.
Oh, so you mean your wife Joy of 50 years,
He's
right?
like, don't tell Joy. Don't tell Joy.
Don't tell Joy. Yep.
But he's saying, he's like, dude, if only I could show you, and if only I could make you feel the peace and the harmony that you have down here. Because he's saying, there were a lot of things that I struggled with in life, and he says, I'm kind of surprised to see that all my sons and my daughters, they actually turned out pretty cool.
They're all doing very well, but they miss you.
He's saying, I was, in a way, I was always scared of making mistakes, and I was scared of, it's almost like he didn't want to let go of the control. He wanted to be in charge in his life, and that brought a lot of fear with him. And he's saying, I'm glad to see that I didn't pass that on to them, and I'm glad to see that they're doing so well.
They miss you terribly, Jimmy, but they're doing very, very well. And Pat, Fant, who is here now with us, and Doug and I and everybody else from the KLOL family, we're keeping an eye on them for you.
He's saying, thanks. I appreciate that. He's saying, but so am I.
Good.
A very critical eye.
So Mark and Doug in London 10, 15 years ago both went shopping separately and ended up with the same belt. It was a source of
How
great.
do you do that?
Well, we had similar taste. But the problem is, I don't know where to find it. I think my last non-marital cohabitant took that belt, and I'm dying to know where I can get another one.
All right, Mark.
Do you have a
we need-
worldview of shopping from
yeah,
up
we
there?
need your GPS for this belt.
He's like, dude, I don't think you can even get that belt anymore. He's saying
that
it was
special, huh?
thrown out. That belt was thrown out, he says, by somebody.
Oh, man.
I know the culprit.
I don't know who, but he's just saying it was thrown out.
Well, you always had
But then
great
you know what?
style.
I'll check my catalog. I'll get back to you.
Well, and we're being joined by Pat Fant, and Pat was one of the
Hey,
founders of
guys.
KLOL
How
back
are
in the
you?
day and was responsible for bringing Jim and Mark to Houston.
Yes.
So
well,
welcome.
back to Houston
Back to Houston, that's
Yeah.
right, that's right.
from the Eagle in Dallas. And Brian Shannon remembers that morning.
Yes, absolutely. It did not go quite as planned on the air with the reception from the listeners, but it didn't take long for them to turn around.
Right, sure. And then later, when we put the KLOL billboard in the city of Dallas, just to piss people off.
Oh my
Yep.
God! You guys who are not here had no idea how competitive it is between Houston and Dallas, or at least it used to be.
Oh,
Maybe
it used to
No,
be,
I think
and
it still
was
is.
really fun. So we put a billboard on Central
Expressway, the main artery
the
through
main
town.
artery, and it had the Runaway Radio and KLOL logo and everything, and then it said, "Not available in this market."
That was just mean.
That
Just
is
me.
That was a great campaign, and you and Doug Harris both came up with a lot. I'm just curious, Mark and Jim, what was your favorite ad campaign we did at KLOL?
Oh yeah.
I'm not really sure what he's trying to say, but he's got this squeaky little voice.
What was that?
I think that was supposed to be me.
Oh, is that you? Is that the little
Something about Waldo.
Uncle Waldo.
Waldo?
Uncle Waldo. Okay.
Oh, yes.
That was the signature bit on our show. That was the one thing at 7:20 every morning. Listeners not only wrote the script, but they won prizes for the scripts, and so everybody would stay in their car until we got through with that every day before they go into school or work.
Uncle Waldo was theater of the mind.
So was he another person?
No, he was a fictitious character.
Oh, you guys would like do
Mark and Jim would act
characters
it.
on the
Yeah.
show.
They would act out these characters, and you'd have to pull the curtain, pull the rope to open the curtain.
And that was Brian's job.
Greeting
Yes.
all you fine arts lovers.
Yep. Running all the
Another
sound effects.
Uncle Waldo adventure. So that was their favorite.
Oh wow.
Okay, so
It
I'm
is,
Something about, I don't know, but he has this really squeaky. It's almost like his voice is muddled and it's squeaky and.
That was Uncle Waldo.
That was
Yeah.
Uncle Waldo's voice. Yes.
Can you do that voice?
But I can't really.
Ooh,
I can't make out what
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
saying.
so do it, yeah.
Okay,
Ooh,
listen
greetings
to
all
this.
you
It's
fine
like
arts.
the real Herman Steele was a narrator. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, fine arts lovers, wherever you are. Sit back and relax as we join another adventure of Uncle Waldo, teenage, whatever it was.
Yeah. Teenage medium type person.
Yes,
Teenage medium type person.
in an extra large.
Exactly. Bum, bum,
Okay,
bum.
so I was the only one that was not a part of this crew
back in the day. but
back
you
in
were
the
a
day.
fan.
Huge fan, huge fan.
Oh,
I mean,
were
my
you?
brother.
I didn't know that.
My brother's friend won 2 Corvettes, 2
From KLOL.
from KLOL.
What was I thinking?
I know, right? And my brother won things, and we got to meet them. And I just remember Mark. He had this very John Travolta-esque thing, this white suit on, and just kind of strutted. I thought he was just the fox. So yeah,
You got a fan,
you
Mark.
got a fan.
He was always a fashionista. He was the clothes horse on the show. And back in his early career in Fort Worth at KFJZ, not only was he the top afternoon drive jock, he owned his own men's clothing shop.
wow.
But I can't.
He was the fall fashion answer.
What was the name of that,
Fall
Mark?
fashion
What was the
answer.
name of that? I can't remember the name of that shop.
Let me see if I can get it through.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes specifics are hard to get.
Okay.
It's more general feeling, so
Well.
we won't put you on the spot. If it comes through, great.
Yeah, because what I do, well, maybe I should explain this first. See, what I do is I connect to their energy, and because I'm very sensitive to emotions, about 99% of the information I get through is through emotions, okay? And then sometimes I get thoughts in my head, and sometimes I get pictures. Like they're bragging right now whose car was the nicest, the black Corvette or the red Ferrari.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Uh-huh.
That's what they're bragging about right now towards each other. But
oh.
it's not always easy for me. I don't hear voices. I don't hear people talking to me. I really have to pick up
Okay.
on the energy, and then that energy has to get translated by my body. And that usually is either a thought or a feeling or a picture in my head.
And that's what's
So
pretty
I
I've
don't
got
always
an
get
emotion.
specifics.
I've got an emotion for you. So, Mark, Jim, tell me about, how were you feeling during your favorite meeting? Let's have there's another meeting. Oh, no, now we got to have a meeting. We just said that again. They told us never to say that again. Oh, we got to have another meeting, so.
Really?
go
We
in.
can't say Vaseline?
Not anymore.
I remember that meeting.
Not after the last time. So we'd go, we'd have a meeting, and then it was always their, favorite part of the week.
Oh,
when we'd
yes.
have a-
They
we'd
couldn't
have a
wait.
meeting. They couldn't wait.
The donuts.
And,
No, they didn't follow the rules well. That's what
No.
we're saying. We had to have a lot of meetings.
but that's
But you
what,
couldn't fire them. They were amazing.
that's how we raised all the cash, because nobody followed the rules. So it was managed hysteria. What did they think of that?
Managed hysteria.
I didn't hear all of it because you keep falling out.
Well, then there was. Let's go to this one. Let's see if this gets a rise out of them. Their manager, Saul Foos.
Ooh, that ought to bring up some raw emotion.
So, guys, what do you think when I say Saul Foos? What's that come up with for for the boys.
The emotion that I'm feeling right now, it's more like, it's like a mixture of what the fuck and I don't know how to explain it.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he was, well, I think
It just
he's
feels
still,
like,
he's still in the pen, if that's a
Yeah.
clue. He's still,
Yeah.
you know.
it's almost like they try to avoid a lot of things or something. Like they,
Well, Saul signed Mark to a contract and wanted to sign Jim to a contract as an agent. And Mark was all in and loved Saul and wound up getting taken for thousands of dollars in a Ponzi scheme. Basically, Jimmy always said, I've got this gut feeling this guy isn't right. I don't like him. And he never signed. So it was always your what the fuck was Mark getting taken because he was typically the smart businessman. And Jimmy one time being able to say, see, I was
I
right.
knew. Told you so.
Uh-huh.
I
love
see. Okay. Yeah, it just feels like what the fuck mixed with fuck you. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Saul Foos.
I say a lot of F words and I apologize, but that's the energy that they're sending out. So,
Well, what was the
you know,
movie where Tom Cruise
he's saying
was?
let's just call him Abdul Gimadick or something, or Gimadick.
I don't know what that is. That's hilarious.
I don't know what that
Give a
means.
dick or something.
Abdul Gimadick.
It's okay. They're making up names. I think.
Well, but Jimmy used to always have this character he wanted to do, and it was Ethiopian character named Kais Madik.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Maybe that was it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Kais.
Hey, that might have been that.
Yeah.
But it sounds kind of like Gimadick or Gimadick or Gimme.
That's the guy.
Jimmy Dick.
That is him.
That's the
That's the
guy.
guy.
No, you're so right.
And going back to your earlier to clarify on the cars, Jimmy drove a red Ferrari and Mark drove a black Porsche. It wasn't a Vet, but it was a black Porsche, but same thing.
I was just say I would have gotten that
yeah,
the other way
so
around.
bing, you
Oh,
nailed
okay.
that one.
Bada bing,
Well, I
bada
just
bang,
got a
bada
picture.
boom.
I'm not good at cars.
So when you look
I
back
just
at
saw
your
the yellow horse on
Yeah.
the back of the red Ferrari.
Yes.
when you look back at your whole radio careers, guys, and the impact that you had, and how much you were loved, and how much fun you had, and breaking rules, and what do you think when you look back on that part of your life? For either of you, or both.
They're saying without it, we wouldn't have been us.
Yeah.
It was an essential part of who we were, and it created the stability within ourselves. It was the one thing we could just be ourselves, and we weren't restricted with rules and regulations. Well, we were with the rules and regulations, they say, but we just didn't give a shit to break them. So it was our unique way of expressing how we felt about certain things, but also it was our way to take people out of their boring lives and give them something to look forward to every day. They're saying, if it's what we hope is that it showed people that you need to live your life to the fullest, right? They're saying it can change any minute of any day. So, don't attach yourself to fear, and do whatever the fuck feels good to you.
There's Mark again.
Don't let other people tell you what to do.
So you must
Don't
be
let other
talking.
people tell you you can.
You must be talking about the holiday ball.
Oh wow! Even I know about that.
So ask them about their.
How'd you explain that when you got up there?
Ask them if they could explain the holiday ball,
Yeah.
They just checked that one off.
Yeah. Everybody gets one.
especially the one that we did live pay-per-view in 5 states.
Oh my gosh.
Did you guys start the whole "show us your boobs" thing?
Well,
don't know if
I
they
wouldn't go
started
that
it, but-
far.
We may not have started it, but we improved it.
We certainly made it better.
Yes.
Do they have fond memories?
we
Or how
underwrote it.
How did they explain the holiday ball when they got up there? Well, there's no judgment. No, but you have to explain yourself.
They're saying, you know, it was just fun. It was fun, and what can I say? We were hot with the ladies.
Hot with the
Ooh,
ladies.
that's true.
It's been 17 years since we've been on the air, and
He's
I still.
talking about how women were naked, or they were like
Yes.
walk around the studio or something, and they would just come up, and they would just come in, and they just.
I used to
I don't
avoid
know,
the
he's talking
studio
about
like the
ladies.
plague in the morning because you never knew what was coming up in the morning. You never knew who was in what state of undress the
Well,
guests would be.
The holiday ball was a very dressy affair. It was black tie or black lace, and the year we did the pay-per-view, it was $29.95 per view live stream. You know, call and get the code.
But wait, there's
and
more.
but wait, there was so much more, and so there are a few tapes floating around
Yeah.
of the finished 2-hour live cutting cameras production. 7 cameras.
I still have 2 of them.
Yeah, I have 1.
I think it's illegal in 7 states for me to try to have it digitized.
Yeah,
I really do.
yeah. But you know, that was what we called a radio promotion. And oh dear,
That's what you called
Yeah.
a radio
Yeah.
promotion.
radio promotion.
Emmanuel,
The
I got a
promoter.
question for him. Like I was going to say, 17 years since we've been on the air, I can run into people all the time. They find out who I was, you know, because I got to hide as a character. Are they able to feel the love still present in the Houston area and even in the New Orleans area that we were syndicated in from those fans still when they talk about them?
Groove dogs.
That's it.
They're saying, yeah, man, we were radio gods.
They were the radio gods.
They still miss us. They still miss us. He's saying radio has gotten so clean nowadays. It's fucking boring.
True that.
True that.
Except on
He's
JoyRide.
saying,
Well, we do work to fix
He's
that.
going, yeah, this show rocks, he says. Just like rock and roll, man. He's saying, but you know, dude, I'm hanging out with Jimmy right now, you know, and I'm hanging out with Elvis and all my favorites. And he's saying, you know, I mean, what is better than just chilling with these rock legends that, you know, that we love. So,
That's really cool. You played their music
Well,
for so
there-
many years, and there you are hanging out with them.
I want to
he's saying
know.
yes. He's saying yes.
I want to know when they're coming back on the air. I think it's a fair question. I really do. Like, hey, we did everything else. You can do this. You can do
You
this.
can do it.
You can
Wait,
do
did you?
this.
No. Okay. I thought that was your tag.
Come on, guys. When are you coming back? Fun's over.
He's saying, dude, we're still hanging out. We're still having fun here. So, you know, it's not over yet. So we're not coming back yet until you get over here. And then we'll figure it out.
Regroup.
There are no refunds on this ride.
I think it's great that they're able to hang out with, because I know both of them were big fans of Jimi Hendrix, that you mentioned all that. And Mark Stevens actually gave John Lennon's son, Julian, a special gift at one point during his career. And so I hope John remembers Mark for doing that. He bought him something true to Texas.
He's saying he's still guiding him, or he's still helping him out.
Good.
Because he's saying that there's too many influences around him, so he's trying really hard to have him stay true to himself.
Being his guardian angel.
And he's saying, we're not alone. Yeah, we're not alone. There's a bunch of us. We don't just hang out and chill all day, okay? We do some work here, dude.
Show prep.
But,
They got to
you
do
know,
some show
what
prep.
we're doing is, yeah, we're trying to help new DJs to stay true to who they are and to really come up for what they believe in and to stick to that. But he's saying everything is so restricted by money, people grabbing things or something. I don't know what he's trying to say, but it's almost like everything is restricted according to, by people, he says, people who don't know anything about radio. he says.
So current management.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to help people who are trying to get into radio to find their own identities and to really stick to it and stay true to it, and no matter what people say. He's saying radio is going to change in the future. It will become more important again because people, they need to feel connected to it again. They need to feel connected to the people who are in the studios. And so slowly you'll notice that there's going to come a new, almost like a new breeze. It's going to revive our vibes, he says.
If you find them,
keep an eye on that.
tell them to call me.
RadioBrave.com.
Absolutely.
Will do.
Well, we would love to have you in ours. We would love for you guys to come in and spice us up here and there. Let me rephrase that. We would love
what you
for
asked for.
No, go with that.
to pop in on the show.
Help us out on our radio endeavor.
Jim is saying, be careful what you wish for.
That's right. Thank
Okay,
you.
there it is. It's there. So I have a question. Is there anything that you would like for us to pass on to your families that may hear this?
Jim is saying, just tell my wife, my kids, that I love them very much and that I'm with them every day. Okay? And that I'm extremely proud of all of them. He says, I'm also very proud on how strong they kept themselves after my passing because they're very brave and they know that I'm still around somehow. Mark is saying, tell Melissa I love her. Hold on, he's naming up some names. Tell Kathy. It's like 3 Ks. Kathy, Chris, and Craig or something.
Okay.
That I am watching over them as well. They're saying, you know, we're just hanging out here like we did our whole lives. We're just having fun. We're just making sure everybody's okay. And what we want everybody to do is, first of all, respect each other. Okay? Be grateful for one another. Jim says, be grateful for the veterans. Show them the respect that they deserve.
Yeah.
They're saying, don't worry about Trump.
Okay.
We're not. He's fine.
Don't worry about Trump. He's fun, and, you know, he's saying he's very entertaining. So either way, it's going to be a hell of a ride.
We would have never had to write another show prep for 4 years.
Right. He's done it all for you.
That's right.
Yeah. Any other messages for your groove dogs?
They're saying, hey, you know, it was a hell of a ride, and I wouldn't trade it in for the world. And we're going to do this again, and we're coming back all together again in the future. So this time it's going to be bigger, better, and
You mean in the next life
at
you're
the
all coming
cat.
back? In the next life you're coming back
in
together?
another life. Oh, hell yes. Hell yes.
Oh, I love
They're
it.
saying, you know, and you'll in the future people will recognize our style.
We
So
need a sign.
I don't think anybody will not recognize
Ask
it.
that again.
How will we recognize you guys? We need a sign. Like, here comes the next generation of radio cats. How do we know? Wait,
That's Mark.
that's Mark
Jim.
and Jim. Wear a watermelon in your lapel. We'll pick it up
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. If you see somebody
We'll
walking
know
down the
you.
street going, oh,
You're it. You are
groove
it.
dog.
It's like when the Dalai Lama gets reborn. You have to test it to test the child to make sure it's the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama. So
That's right.
How do we know it's Mark and Jim? No, I think you're saying when we all get
I'm
back,
not really.
We'll all regroup.
we're all
Yeah.
regroup.
Well, he's saying, you know, you guys will be in it too, dude.
Yeah,
But
you're gonna
he's
go.
saying,
You're
you
gonna go
know,
over there.
Oh, we're going there first.
You're going there first.
when Big Bruno and Queen Aretha show up again, you'll know.
Groove Dogs in space.
Yeah.
Big
outstanding.
Bruno and Queen Aretha.
Uncle Waldo
they were Uncle
characters,
Waldo
yeah.
characters. That's right. So what was the life lesson here for you guys? Why did you come to be Mark and Jim in this lifetime? Big esoteric question.
That's a good one.
Jim says for me it was about finding my own identity. It was also about understanding that the more I tried to control things, the more the doors would shut down on me. So it was about understanding that control is an illusion, and I really needed to learn to just accept things as they come and rely on the universe to bring it to me.
That's my life lesson here too. I got you on that one.
I wonder if that's why he partnered with Steve,
With Mark.
With Mark.
Mark is saying that my whole life was about acceptance. It was about accepting that I couldn't always it was about accepting that the world is the way it is and that I could not change that. But the only thing that I could change was myself and how I see myself in that world. So it was about acceptance of myself and understanding that everything happens for a reason.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, Jim says there are other people here for you, Brian. There is somebody here called Bonnie, and there is somebody called CB.
Say those names again.
Bonnie and CB.
How are they?
They came in and froze our video, so we're rebooting our video here. So
You
Emma,
guys still there?
Yeah,
we're here on the audio, but
I
we're
can
also,
hear you, but I can't see you. You dropped.
Yeah, we're rebooting our video. We're trying something new to get everything digital and video. So
Okay.
you just got to accept it. There you go.
Is
All
it
right. I
Skype?
can't see you, though.
No, it's fine.
Okay, I think we're loading. That's
okay.
okay.
All
We'll
right.
just go with it. It's all right. So
I see a picture of you looking at your hand. Is that right?
She's
Looking
contemplating.
at my hand.
no, it's your video. It's your
It'll
Skype
pop on in just a second.
icon thing.
I
Okay,
like
so
it.
who's
Oh, you
Bonnie?
can't see me?
We can't see you right now.
But we can hear you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
How are they doing?
Who's Bonnie and CB to you?
My father's
so
name was
Bonnie
CB and
and
my
CB
mother was Boppy.
Boppy.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
wow.
This is your mom and dad, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
They just seem to be, it's almost like, I think your mom went last and your father went first.
That's correct. About
and
12
they're
years
basically
apart.
saying that they are watching over every single one of you, and that they are very proud of you. They're also making me feel like they didn't say it enough in life, but they're saying it now, that they're extremely proud of you and they love you very much.
Well, I love them
And
too.
they're saying that they're watching over Jacob and Mackenzie.
Those are my kids.
Okay. And then they're also with other family members here. They're with your grandfather. I believe this is your grandfather if he's saying hello. Chester.
That was my father's father.
And he's arm in arm with Bertha.
Bertha. That was my father's mother. Now you know why we named my daughter Mackenzie and not any family names.
Chester and Bertha.
Chester and Bertha. But that's where my father got the name CB. CB didn't stand for anything. It was just
Chester
and Bertha.
Oh, Brian.
Son
Hi,
of a gun.
guys.
He's
Hi.
saying
Hi. These are my friends, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Mom and Dad. We love what you've
they're
done with
everybody's
him.
saying we love you. We love you and we miss you.
I miss you too.
They're saying there's so many people here watching over you and supporting you in every way
So
possible.
I get no privacy?
I'll
They're
explain
saying,
how that
well,
works later.
Yeah. Hope I haven't made them
it's not-
blush too
it's
much.
not how you think.
Okay, good.
They see you more as energy. They don't see you in the,
Oh,
taking a
thank God.
shower or
They don't
having
see you
sex.
naked.
Yeah.
Thank God.
They respect your privacy when we're doing our human thing.
So you need 3D eyes to see
They
3D.
don't see our human thing.
That's
Yeah.
good news.
They see us in energy. They see our true nature. They see our true identity, which is just energy.
Is my
now,
father-
he's
is my
saying,
father getting to dance
you
again?
Also had,
Sorry.
is what?
Is my father getting to dance again?
He's saying, hell yeah.
They love to dance. My father was bedridden for 12 years with multiple sclerosis.
Oh.
He's free of that now.
Okay. Now there's also Claude is here and
Yep.
Lottie.
That was my maternal grandparents.
I mean, they all came in.
And they're saying, we love you. We love you.
Love you too.
And they're saying, we're going to have a personal chat with you.
Yes.
Just to say hi. Just to say hi and just to reconnect. Because they're saying, there's also another person here, but he calls himself the boss.
The
what?
boss,
The boss? Does that ring any bells?
BOSS?
Chester's father was, his nickname was Boss Shannon.
Boss? Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's your great
Okay,
grandfather.
and
Yes.
he's saying your great grandfather.
Father. Uh-huh.
In a way, he's apologizing, but I'm not really sure for what.
Tell him it's okay.
He's saying thank you.
Tell him I'm still proud of him. Full
He's saying,
disclosure.
I'm very, very proud of
If you want,
too.
this is
Full disclosure, you've heard of my mom's going to be screaming at you because she did not like the story, but Boss Shannon was involved with George Machine Gun Kelly in the 30s and spent some time in the penitentiary, and so the family was a little embarrassed and upset about that because they were in a very small town. So I have a funny feeling that's why he's saying he was sorry, but it's okay. Time heals all those wounds.
Yes, it does.
It's an Irish thing.
He's
Yeah,
saying,
don't piss us off.
Makes a great story, though. Right?
he's saying let's blame it on the women.
Oh, come on.
Okay, full disclosure. That he was married to the sister of Machine Gun Kelly's wife, who drove everything. She was the one that was completely
really
in
was
control,
the
even of
women.
Machine Gun Kelly, even on the caper that they were involved in. She was the
Wow.
mastermind. So that's a very true statement.
Where was this?
Wow.
What city?
Paradise, Texas, very small up
Wow.
by Northwest Dallas Fort
They
Worth.
made a movie of this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you want to go home and you want to Google the name Boss Shannon, you'll see it all.
But I had no idea that was your
Yep.
great grandfather.
So, but yeah, blame it on the women. That was where it all really was rooted. That's how he got involved, like I said.
All right.
Okay, fine.
But he's saying, if it's any consolation, Mary was sweet,
Who was
and
married?
she is your great grandmother.
See,
His wife?
and I didn't know Mary. I didn't know Boss either. He was gone before I was there. I never met Chester.
Okay.
He died at a very early age, even when my father was real young. So I have found one picture of him as a 12-year-old on the internet.
Wow.
But I've never got a chance to meet him.
Well, you are now today.
Yeah, hey
He
Chester.
knows you.
Yeah, he knows you. That's so cool.
Oh,
So
wow.
they're saying that they're watching over the whole family. You
Good.
know? They're saying even if you've never met us, once you pass over, once you come on this side, we're all connected and we all support one another in our journeys and our missions here on earth. So we're just here to make sure that everybody is successful in what they were meant to do and that you feel loved. So I hope that we can provide that for you.
I do.
That's beautiful.
I do. Has Dad, have you gotten to see Albert and Mildred?
They're saying, yeah, we hang out.
They hang
Are
out.
their family in spirit?
Their family, and my father had three brothers. And after Chester died, Bertha took a little leave of absence, and my father was left with them.
Okay.
So he was another father figure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't
no,
apologize.
no.
This
Wow.
is very moving.
It's okay.
It's a family
It's
reunion
okay.
here. It's all healing, though.
So you do this all the time. This is
New to me.
new to us every
Yeah.
5 minutes here.
Emmanuel does this all the time too. She's a full-time medium. She's in Belgium, and we'll put the links to everything we're talking about and how to connect with Emma on our website, which is joyrideshow.com. Go to the episode blog. We did a show where we introduced you. I think it's show number 30, and we talked all about your story and your amazing gift. But you have brought such healing to us by bringing the people that we love and care about, who are just not in this 3D world anymore, but are very much in our world, just not as we perceive it. And you're able to perceive them through your thoughts and feelings, and communicate to let us know that they're still there and why they came, and that it's all okay and they're loved and guided and supported. So it's a beautiful thing.
So typically what happens now is you will go home and you will chew over this for the next few
Sure.
weeks, and because the Skype kind of blanked out when it did, it's a much smaller file, and I can send it to you.
Yeah, and we'll upload all this to our YouTube. And I wonder, that's when they came in, is when the video blanked out. So I wonder if your family actually messed with our electronics here. Sorry.
Knowing
Yeah,
my
they're saying too much energy at once because they were all coming in at the same
You had a
time, so
huge
they were
crew.
interfering with the signal.
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
Emma, you're doing a phenomenal job of keeping everybody
Man.
organized. Thank you
Yeah.
for doing what you're doing.
knowing my mom and grandmother Lottie, any opportunity to see the kids, they were coming in full steam.
Okay, so
say hi to
I
your
have a
mom?
question though. I have a question.
Okay.
I would like to know if they know the babies that will be coming in the next few years. Are there any babies that are coming into his family?
And are they planned?
Whoops.
Oh. Control.
There will be
Wrap
some
that rascal.
people reincarnated. Somebody named Curtis is coming back into the family.
That was my father's brother.
He's coming back, but he'll be coming in
As an Episcopalian.
with somebody named Charlie.
Okay, you sure that's not mine? No, I'm kidding.
Well, I'm trying to think,
His
Outside
name will be
brothers.
Charlie, or he's coming to a
because my
Charlie?
nephew, my brother's son, is named Charlie.
He's coming in with somebody named Charlie. And then Mary is also coming back. She says her name is Mary I.C. Jackson Shannon. And she will be coming back with Mackenzie.
Which is my daughter.
Wow. So
Okay,
great
so
grandma.
Uncle
Wow.
Curtis is coming
she's
back with my
saying-
nephew Charlie.
She's saying the reason I'm coming in with Mackenzie is because I like her spunk.
Oh man.
She is very spunky.
She's gonna be a good mama.
That's your daughter.
She took a little bit after me. Unfortunately, looks she too much like me and not the wife. But yeah, she's spunky. Well, that'll be great.
We both
Yeah,
named
those two
our
are
daughters
coming back
Mackenzie.
in for now.
What's that?
For now. There are also
That's who's
other
coming in.
spirits who will be coming into as family members, but are not related to this family.
So that's how this happens. We have a soul group, a soul family that kind of travel in a pack, and you kind of incarnate in different roles as male and female, father, mother, and you get to play these lives out together, but you really are never disconnected when somebody leaves the physical. Just go back and say, what's the next role I want to play?
Sure,
and come back
sure.
again.
Wow.
So my third, I have 3 boys, and my youngest is actually my husband's father.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So he got to reincarnate as his son, which I think is such a great idea, because if your parents are then
You can come back and be the son.
yes, exactly. Isn't that funny?
Nice.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming in.
Thank
the
you.
Shannon
I
family.
appreciate it. Thank
That's
you.
beautiful. Well, we're not done
Oh,
yet.
no,
We've
not
still got a
y'all.
few minutes. No, we're saying to your families, thank you for coming in.
dear.
Well, do they have anything else they want to say before they
Stand up straight.
go dance?
Tell Brett and Dot that we love them.
My brother and sister-in-law.
They're saying we're going to stop by to everybody, and we always do. So every birthday we're there. Every special occasion we're there. But we also stop by in the mornings to make sure you guys start your day off on a good note.
Well, good. Well, I can still feel Lottie, my grandmother, slapping me on the cheeks every time she'd give me a hug, and then she'd give me the old and look at me.
Cheek slaps.
And I miss that very much.
Well, and just you thinking of them, they hear you.
Yeah, it
they
kinda calls
hear
them.
what you're saying, and they'll
Yeah.
give you signs and symbols. And the more you say yes to those signs and symbols, the more you
see
validate.
You
and
have
it
to be
becomes more
open to it. You have to
yes.
be aware of it. You have to watch for the meaning.
Yeah.
Is
You know,
Lottie
'cause
with her
it's-
sister? My favorite aunt. That had to be a
She's
raucous.
saying yes, but she's not here at this time.
Okay.
She's incarnated again, or she's not here today.
She's not here. She's already back on Earth.
Oh, good, good.
That's awesome.
They're all saying, you know, all you need to do to communicate to us is just think about us, and we are immediately in one flash second next to you, going, hey, what's up? How's it going?
I have a
They're saying
question.
once you open that door, you'll notice that a lot more signs will be coming in, and the more you notice them, the more you train your brain to focus on the unusual, the more you will notice more and more signs coming
Yeah, the
in.
synchronicities.
It's about changing your focus.
Okay.
Well, and a lot of people have a lot of fear about talking to their departed. We've been taught, let them rest in peace, don't bother the dead. But Kerry and I have found I've been doing this for 20 years. It's so beautiful. There's so much guidance and love and support. And you're opening to love. You're not opening to anything evil. Just when you connect and think with the people that you love, that's what you get.
Right.
They want to continue their relationship. For them, nothing has changed. The only thing that changed is they don't have a physical anymore. But the love and the personality and, the wishes and the dreams for you guys have stayed.
It's true.
When it comes to dead people, we'll do that quote, dead people, not really dead, but when it comes to the people who have transitioned, what I have found is they just want to connect, and I speak to my deceased relatives all the time, just like they're here. If there's a birthday, I say, okay, guys, you guys here? They go, yeah, we're all here. It's about tearing down the walls. We make too much of a separation between us here on Earth and them.
Amen.
There is no separation, they say. All our dimensions are intertwined, so we are all in the same place at the same time. We are just at a different frequency, so we can't communicate as fluently as we would like. But it's about understanding and recognizing that they are still alive, that they are still with us, and that we can have a relationship with them at any moment of every day. And once we open that door and we acknowledge to the universe that we have this understanding and that we know and acknowledge that they are there, then your energy frequency will rise to a higher frequency, and then we can meet up somewhere in between and we'll be able to communicate. And there will come a time in the human development where we will have full-blown on conversations. That will happen. We still are a long way to go, but there will come a time where you can just dial and call your dead grandmother for help. So that is coming.
That's awesome. Woo-hoo! And not to put you out of a job, but we'll be able to have our own telepathy. And that grief of that Grand Canyon that is developed in your heart when somebody that you love dies and you think that it's over, this continued relationship fills that Grand Canyon in where it's more experience with them. The relationship continues, and you can develop your own ability to speak with them. And I, again, have to thank Stevens and Pruett for starting me on that journey in the late 90s with my mother when she died. And I said, that was love. All this creepy, weird stuff that I used to think about paranormal, that was love. And I followed that vein. And it has been the most beautiful experience now. Now this is what I do.
Okay, so are they here? Are they still here?
Are Mark and Jim still with us?
Are they sitting
They're
in the back?
still here, yes.
Oh, they're being
Also, they've
oddly
gotten to really
quiet.
interact with my folks. I can't imagine what tales have been going back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Could we ask them how many Earths are there?
Oh,
I was just wondering.
I know of 2. I've seen 2.
I mean, do they ever get them confused? When you leave one, can you go back to another one?
I think there's multiple parallel. Well, let's see what they say.
Do they parallel that way
There-
too?
We're going to go quantum physics
Ooh, I
here,
love
Stevens and
this.
Pruett style.
he's saying it's really hard to explain because it's so complicated. But let's just say there's multiple dimensions, there's multiple Earths, multiple time zones, and let's just say everything happens all at the same time because time does not exist. So what you can do is you can flip through different dimensions where lives go in a different direction. However, when somebody connects with you, or if somebody in your timeline or time zone or dimension tries to connect with you, then you cannot make a mistake. You are drawn to that frequency. Everything has an extremely, it's like it has a unique frequency and a unique vibration, and so
No matter where it's
in order
coming
to
from.
connect,
like a
we have to
fingerprint.
have to, it's almost like it arrives in us. It's almost like a message gets shot inside of us, and we are immediately connected to the right frequency, and we are immediately connected to the right entity, because we are now coming forward as Mark and Jim, but we have been so many other entities as well that we can come forward in. And a lot of times that's still complicated for people to understand. We are connected to a higher self who sends out all these different lives and different experiences in all different shapes and forms and different planets and different dimensions. So in a way, what we're showing you is when you think of Jim, then the consciousness Jim comes forward, steps forward, okay? But we are part of a bigger whole. We are part of a bigger source, and we are all united in that. He's saying the best way that we can explain it is if you've ever seen the movie Avatar, you have the guy that's paralyzed. He's in his little booth, and he gets into his cabin, and he puts his consciousness into a blue body, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Now, multiply those bodies with thousands of lives, thousands of bodies all over, okay? And the dude in his, he's going to dude, in his cabin is your higher self, and all the different blue men, those are all the different lives that you're leading, where you develop your own personality, your own consciousness, your own hopes and dreams and experiences, etc., and your own connections with other people. And that is that's the simplest way for us to explain it on how the higher self works with different bodies. Now, if you think closely, that also means that you can be reincarnated in two different bodies in the same time zone, okay? Because time is not linear. Time doesn't exist. So time is just a perception of people on Earth.
So
Because
are you
Earth-
guys here in other bodies right now? I didn't mean to interrupt you, Earth.
We do have other bodies at this time. We do.
Do we know them, or are they here?
No, they don't. They're not here. We have some in other planets. And Jim says, I'm a freaking horse.
You're a horse?
I'm a horse.
What are you learning as a horse? Are you on your ranch? That's what where are you as a horse?
I'm actually being loved by a really sweet girl in France.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Very nice.
I'm getting the luxury treatment, petting, carrots. Yeah, I'm having
Petting
fun.
and carrots and apples.
In France, it's pretty cush life.
I want that.
I'll come
You
back as
probably
a
already
horse.
have it.
My luck, I'll come back as a big dumb fish.
Hey, there's a lot to be learned in that too.
I guess so.
Jim says,
That was good.
Jim says, so you're not really going to make much changes then.
Set him up for that one. Perfect.
Mark and Jim, we hate to wrap this up. We've loved having you. We've loved having the whole Shannon family here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Brian
Love all of
and
you.
Pat and
Thank
Doug.
you.
This is
Emma, thank you
amazing.
so much. We're going to put all the links to how to get in touch with you, Emma, and some of the best of S&P we'll put on our website, joyrideshow.com. Go to the episode blog and look for the Stevens and Pruett Eternity Show.
Yes.
Mark and Jim, will you come back sometime?
Come on, guys.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes,
All
Groove Dog.
right.
Oh! Thank you guys. We
Guys,
love you.
thank you. Bye, Emma.
Mwah.
Love you.
Thanks, Joyriders.
Love you too.
See you
guys.
soon.
Bye.
Red roses too, I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful